It's an absolute honour to welcome Eastbourne Borough legend, end club captain Brad Barry to the From the Club podcast. Thank you for taking the time, Brad.
No problem at all. Glad to be here, mate.
Oh, thank you. Brad, tell us everything we need to know about you in 60 seconds.
Yeah, 60 seconds. I'm a dad of two. Obviously the club captain at Eastbourne Borough. I've been playing football ever since I could walk. Obviously it's my dream to be the professional footballer. So, and everything else really about me is just it's pure football and family. That's everything you need to know about me.
Yeah. Well, Brad, most people watching you will know and love you from your time at Eastbourne Borough, but this wasn't your first rodeo. Tell us about your career before you landed at Borough and how you come to move to Borough in the first place.
I was at Stevenage before I went to Borough, and obviously it wasn't the year that I expected. Obviously, I had a few injuries and things weren't going to plan. I was driving quite a lot. It was quite a tough year, really. And obviously, it was the year of my daughter. And obviously that's a change of lifestyle.
Yeah.
So I think that was the main reason why I come back home because I didn't want to. I'm well travelled around with football. I've been here, there, and everywhere around England. So I feel like when she was about to be born, I said it's time to go home now. And I haven't regretted it ever since. I said moving to
Yeah.
Borough is probably one of the best decisions I've made because in that point in my career, I said it was exactly what me and my family needed.
Yeah. So tell us about the very beginning then, Brad. Where did you get sort of scouted? You know, what was your first club? How did that all come about?
I was at where was I? I was at Hastings Gunners Red when I was 5 years old, and just went to a local team. And I'm telling you, that it's one of the best things I've ever done because I'm still talking to the manager now. He's like a family friend. He's more family, I would say, than a friend. You know, it's one of them situations. And then I was at a tournament in Polegate, and I had got scouted by Arsenal and Brighton, but I was out the catchment area for Arsenal. So obviously we went straight down to Brighton at 9 years old and did a 5 week trial down there and got signed up straight away. And then it just went on from there, really.
Oh, amazing. Yeah, so good. Well, Brad, we obviously we're going to be speaking mainly about your time at Borough. And
Yeah.
sometimes the chemistry between a player and a club is just perfect, isn't it? And it certainly seems to be the case for you. What is it about Eastbourne Borough that makes the club so special for you, Brad?
I think when I first turned, honestly, because obviously I've been at these big clubs and I've been around, and I was a bit like hesitant at first because I was thinking, well, if I do this, it's going to hinder my career. But when I went there, I didn't want to leave. It was like a big family straight away. As soon as I come through, everybody was so happy, so welcoming, and even for my family, as soon as they turn up, they come away smiling. And I said, that's all it needs to be. That's what I need to know. And because if they're happy, I'm going to be happy, and if I'm happy playing, then I can't fault anything. I think that's the main thing as well. Like the fans, the ownership, the directors, everybody involved in Borough, you can see they love it. And I felt like that's what I needed because obviously where I had a hard season before, I needed something like that to make me fall in love with the game again, and that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, well, you definitely loved at the club, Brad. We've just got to work out where we're going to put your statue when you retire, haven't we? Out in the car park somewhere. We're recording this in the pre-season of the 24-25 season after a very memorable season last year. As you look back at that season, how will you remember it, Brad?
Well, it was a very difficult season. I'm not going to beat around the bush about it. It wasn't what we planned out to be, but football's not like that. You can't if everyone's writing their script, everyone's winning the league, and unfortunately, it doesn't work like that. I feel like I think it was a learning curve for especially for some of the youngsters. I think some of them become men after that because then now they've realised you can't just turn up. Especially like even for me when I first started in the Conference South, you don't just turn up and play because I found it out. I still remember the game. It's horrible. It's nightmares for me, right? I was at Hungerford away, and I was thinking, these guys are mental. They're like ruthless. But I was like, right, I've got to step up my game now. Like, I said, I can't just turn up and because I'm a good player. It doesn't work like that. But so I feel like last season's definitely made some young boys into men and made them realise that they need to work on themselves. But some of them got through and they showed them what they can do. So I feel like as a club, they're now building younger players and turning them into men. which I think is a massive attribute to have, especially at a young age.
Yeah,
So
mate, 100%. Yeah, 100%. I didn't think, I didn't know that a relegation battle could be so much fun. I mean, Braintree away at the end of the season, obviously, we'd already, we already knew that we were going to stay up at that point because of the other
yeah,
results. But and you actually missed out on the party, Brad, right? We was all having a great time whilst
I
you was
know.
back in the dressing
I
room.
was banned from the pitch.
You've seen the photos.
Yeah, I know. I was thinking,
It
yeah,
was,
but some of them edit me in, didn't you? So
yeah. Yeah, we did. Yeah, that's right.
Oh,
Nah, what a season. Well, I mean, talking about last season, obviously the year started with so much optimism after
yeah.
the takeover, and I know how desperately everyone wanted it to work. As we look back now, wise after the event, you've already mentioned about it being a learning curve. What lessons have been learned, and what can be taken into next year?
I feel the biggest lessons is you can't just turn up and play. It doesn't work like that. I said, especially when there's a game plan, because the amount of information we get, it's very, very simple, but if you don't take it on board, it never works. And we train obviously we train every day. So if we don't then put that on a Saturday, said we didn't waste the whole week. So it shows you have to concentrate all throughout the season, and you can't, especially the teams in this league, you can't just they are very, very good players, so you can't just turn up. So it doesn't work like that. It simply does. In any sort of league, I'm telling you, it's no different when I was in the League One, League Two. I would say Conference South it's on verge with National League. It's very, very hard. So I feel like the biggest thing that I know, even for me as a personal note, not to get so, as me, my attributes are very, very aggressive. But I'm not that person off the pitch. So
Yeah,
I'm now having to try and take my attributes off the pitch onto the pitch. So for me, for learning is to calm, and because obviously all the players look at me and if they see me red mist, they think, "Oh no, he's going to go in a minute." So I think it's just it's little things you can nit and pick at, but I just feel like the team that we've got now, they're well experienced. They've been through everything now, so I feel like we've now grown
yeah,
especially from last season. Because, like I said, like you said, relegation it's not a normal thing, and if you get through it, it's a massive like accomplishment. So
yeah,
it's just like I said, there's so many little details I can go through. I could be here all day talking about it,
yeah,
but
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
just happy to see some of the lads grow. And that's as a
yeah,
captain, that's all I want. I want because they text me every day. Still now, I'm thinking, leave me alone, like.
yeah, yeah,
But it shows what input
yeah.
I've had on them. So, and that's all I wanted. So I feel like this season's going to be a bit of, especially from last year, it'd be a big step up, especially with the new signings that we've got.
Yeah. Well, we definitely enjoyed last year, but we don't want to repeat it again. We want to be at the
No,
other end
no,
of the table
no.
next
Yeah,
year.
I don't need none of that, man. I don't need none of
No.
it,
You mentioned about one of the things that makes the club special is the owners and the directors of the club. And under Simon and Alan, the club has set itself up to be different on and off the pitch. We have an owner who has an open door to both the fans and the players, and he's been a massive help to us as well. You couldn't have two men that care more about taking this club forward. How does that trickle down to you guys as players?
When it comes from the top, it runs throughout the whole club. So I've been at places where it hasn't been as good, and it does affect the players because they're not getting the attention, they're not getting the things they need. Because if you want to be a top team, it has to be from the top. And Simon and Alan and all the other people that do so much work, that it runs onto the pitch. And you can see even when Adam come in, he's a
Yeah,
top. He was a top player, top manager. He's been at top clubs. I said he's there for a reason. So his input is a massive effect. So it's now drilling all the way through the club, and you can just, like you said, all the fans can see it. You can see their plan. They're doing everything for the club and the area. So it's making us players want to win. Obviously, we don't go on a pitch to lose. Nobody wants to go on a pitch and lose. But obviously, when it's not working off the pitch, it can affect you on the pitch.
yeah,
So I think their input is huge, especially like I said, for me, I've been at different clubs, and I've been at ones that I've been relegated. I said I've seen the nasty side. So
yeah.
it definitely has an effect.
Yeah. You couldn't have two more different scenarios. This time last year, we had no manager. We didn't have any players signed up. And here we are now going into early June with already a very deep and impressive squad. As a player and as the captain, how helpful is it to have the business done early so that you can get a full pre-season together?
That's exactly how you do it. That's because the gaffer was always going to do that. He was always going to get his players in early because he knows he's played. If you have an unsettled pre-season, the team's never going to bond. So now we've got a full month and a half of pure team bonding. Get to know who you're playing with on and off the pitch, especially off the pitch, because then you know their personalities, you know how to deal with them. Because when you're on the pitch, you know exactly what they like and what they don't like.
Yeah.
So, and obviously, like you said, we're a full-time club. So we now know what sort of plays we're going to have, what he does, like what through balls he likes, what crosses he likes, how we're going to play, and everybody's on the same page.
Yeah. Yeah. You play for Borough both as a part-time pro and also as a full-time pro as well. So, Brad, you're probably uniquely qualified to be able to answer this question. How much of an advantage is it to be full-time in our league?
It is, it is, and it isn't, because if you're full-time, you have to show it on a Saturday. I feel like the fitness-wise from last season, towards the end of the season, we were always the fittest. We never stopped.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
like I said earlier, if you don't pay attention through the week, it won't go on a Saturday. So being a full-time club is only as effective as you are during the week and how concentrating you are. Because I had a very, very positive season when I was part-time, and I was only there sometimes only one time, like once a week. So it shows in what personnel you've got. Because if you've got full-time players in there, it's a massive, massive impact on the league, because you will succeed like teams like Yeovil. You see the way they are. They're full-time players, full-time club, and it does have a massive input, but only if you've got the right players. Whereas I feel like we were a bit juggly last year, but it's a brand new start. It's always going to be like that. It's never going to be sunshine and rainbows, is it? So
Yeah, no,
it's
true.
but yeah, no, it is. It is a massive, massive. It has a massive effect on the league personally, because I prefer full-time. I'm a full-time footballer, so but only if you can get it right during the week. Obviously on a Saturday. So
Yeah. Well, you get that time to prepare as well, don't you? You've got all the analytics of the other team, and the off the pitch stuff as well is really crucial, because you know what you're walking into on the Saturday afternoon, then, don't you?
yeah, no, exactly that. You literally know what player you're going to have, who you're playing against, how we're going to play against them. If it doesn't work, we've got a plan B. We know exactly each role, and everybody knows their roles, so that's how the team's going to work.
Yeah. One of the traits of a modern day footballer is to be flexible and to have the ability to play in a number of positions. And we've certainly seen that with you, Brad. What's your favourite position to play?
I wouldn't even know anymore, man. I wouldn't even know. I'll wait
Goalkeeper.
yeah, no, honestly, yeah. If he put the gloves on me, I'll go and go. I wouldn't mind. But yeah, honestly, also I like playing the holding role, number 4. I feel like I haven't played there since I was about 18, and that's 11 years ago. So it's very new to me, but because I played it before, it doesn't like phase me, and I'll learn very, very quickly because I'll pay attention, I'll watch videos, I'll ask questions. I always ask questions, because especially with our gaffer, he was a centre midfielder. So I'm like, well, what can I do? Where am I need to be positioned? Stuff like that. But I can play pretty much anywhere on the pitch, basically, except from number 9, unless you want me to go and end someone. Like.
Yeah.
But if you ask me
No,
to score
I like you in that
goals,
role. Yeah. I mean, it suits your attributes that you can get hold of the game there, your influence on the rest of the players as well. I think we saw that massively with Jack Clark towards the end of the season as well. We really stepped up, didn't he? And started being a great player and started having an even bigger impact on the game as well. So, exciting stuff. And Brad, just talking about last season again, I remember seeing a few posts on the Eastbourne supporters Facebook forum pinpointing a very emotional post-match interview that you did when things weren't going very well around Christmas time as one of the catalysts that started to help us turn things around. What do you remember about that time in particular?
it was a very, very low point. I think not just for us players, for everyone. I speak to the fans quite a lot, and I could feel their emotions, and obviously it's going to affect me because I've got love for the club. So, and I feel like that post-match interview, I think that showed what it meant, because I had enough, because I don't like time wasters. I don't want people around the club that's going to basically ruin it. And there's no disrespect to Mark Bill. I think he's an unbelievable coach, but I don't think he got the help that he needed. And everybody admitted it. So, and obviously the recruitment wasn't good enough, but everybody knew that. So I feel like I got to a point where I was like, I've had enough. I need to say something, and I'm fed up with hiding. I feel like it needed it. I think it needed it, because everybody was too nicey. I said, football's not a nice game. It's not a nice game.
Yeah.
Sometimes you need to be ruthless. So, and the boys needed to hear how I felt, because I can only say so much in a changing room because I don't want to hurt people's feelings. But you're in a man's game now. I said, this is the way it is. I said, you're not playing youth team football anymore. So I feel like it actually affected people in a positive way, because they feel like, right, it's time to step up now, because we're in deep trouble. We're not in any position to be laughing anymore. So.
Yeah, and I think you're right. I think because you are so close to the fans, I think, you know, you almost were reflecting. You know, it's like having a fan standing there being interviewed. You know, during that interview, you was reflecting how we were all on the verge of tears as well at that time, right?
Nah, it was. It's every day, wasn't it? You just feel like and it's like it drains you, and not just for us players. It drains the fans. It just feel like, oh, I've got to go and watch the team lose again. So we don't want that. We're not used to that. We're used to having, especially being at home. I said we're used to that exciting play, attacking phases, goals. Even if it's like a 5-3, it's an exciting game. Obviously, it ain't no good for me because I'm playing at the back, but we won't talk about that.
You mentioned Beardy, the previous manager, who was really popular, like you said, within the club, and you had the job of replacing him as the interim boss for a very short period of time. What did you manage to do during that time, and has it whet your appetite to go into management?
Honestly, you would think, I had the shortest amount of time as an interim manager probably in the history of football, but I probably did the most jobs anyone wanted to do. I had to get rid of people. I had to have meetings. I had to have, it was constant. My phone was ringing pretty much every 5-10 minutes. I was thinking, oh no, now I've got to go. And I said I had to release a few people, a few of my friends. Obviously, some of the coaching stuff had to go. It was a big, it was a big change, and obviously I had to take that role. And they asked me if I'm happy to. I said, well, no one else is, so I'm gonna. I said, of course I will. I was going to do what's best for this club, and no matter if I affect the people that I actually really get on with. So I mean, that's football. It's a business at the end of the
day. Yeah. And in terms of the future, Brad, obviously we want you playing for as long as you possibly can. But has it whet your appetite? Can you see yourself going into management one day in the future?
Yeah, 100%. Like I had obviously a bit of a stage with Adam at the start when he first come in, just to basically open a door for him. But he didn't need that. He knows what he's doing. I said, I have no experience. You tell me. But he definitely taught me a lot. He's shown me what you have to do. How they're in all day, every day. It's not, they don't just turn up for training and go home. They are studying. They are watching clips for hours and hours, going back to their house, studying again, thinking what's best. It's all day, every day, and that's what made me realise that it's not just, I don't just turn up to there and just write a few things, like write a few training sessions down and go home. So it doesn't work like that, because he's top tier. So I said that's what it takes to be like him, and I feel like I'm learning every day off him. So it definitely has whetted my appetite for it, because I feel like I'll be a positive way, and I can use my playing experience to help that, which he does.
Yeah, for sure. You mentioned earlier on that Adam came in, who's a very different personality and with different ways, and he, alongside all you guys, did a brilliant job in managing to keep us up. If you had to pinpoint what those changes were, what made the difference, and what were they?
I think the main thing would be structure, not just on the pitch, throughout the whole club. He come in and demanded straight away, this is the way we're doing things. There is no other way. Said, and we will train to play this way, and we were trained to be that way off the pitch. Said he got the team together, because things with Adam as well. He had people around him to help guide him, whereas unfortunately for Beardy, he didn't. I wanted to help him so much, but obviously I was more concentrating on my playing. He didn't have anyone to go, do this. This is the way we're playing. Don't come out that way. But I think that was a massive thing that he'd come in and just ripped it all basically apart and said, this is the way we're playing.
Yeah.
And it won't work overnight, but I feel like for us it did.
Yeah.
Like he come down on a Thursday, trained on a Friday, had one training session on a Friday for an hour, and you could just tell everybody was like, he ain't messing. He's come in and he's not messing around. He said, we're playing this way. I don't care what anyone says, and we did. So I think that would be the massive, like, that's a pinpoint that I'd go for the structure.
You could see the impact, couldn't you? Because I think the first game was away to Torquay, if I remember right.
Yeah,
there was a difference, and you sometimes get that new manager bounce, don't you? That doesn't always last very long, where they'll go on a run. But with Adam, it built momentum, and it become a juggernaut towards the end of the season. And we looked unbeatable, didn't we, for the running, the business end of the season. Just you had Yaya Bumba come into the team, and Finn, and we looked unbeatable.
Yeah, no, it was. I think he made some very good recruitment. The players that I feel like he knows his team. He goes, this is what I need. I need this type of player. So he will go and get that type of player.
Yeah.
And that's because of his structure. He's got that structure. He goes, I need a player to fit in that. I don't need a player that comes in and ruins that. And even with Greeny coming in, so he needed someone up top who was a bit more nasty and a bit more throw himself around. And he's a very, very experienced player. We needed someone like that. We've been screaming for that all year. So when he come in, he made a massive input as well. But then it helped the players, like I said, not Yaya, Clarkey, even the young ones at the back. It gives them that outlet to go. Greeny will look after the ball for me, and then Finn. The way Finn played towards the back end of the season was incredible. It shows why we've got him and why he's been playing abroad for so many years.
Mate, 100%. And the fact that we've signed all these boys on for next season, mate, just cannot wait. Counting down the days. Unbelievable.
Yeah, 100%. I said, when I see him come through, I said, that's recruitment. You got it done early doors, no messing around. Because I feel like they've learned as well, haven't they? Like
of course,
Simon, Alan, and obviously the Gaff doesn't, but Simon and they learned straight away. Alan's been in the game like so many years. He knows exactly how it is. But Simon's a brand new owner. So it's completely different scenery. It's not a normal business. Football's not normal. It's not.
No, for sure.
It's a strange business. So I feel like now Alan's put his footprint in and said this is the type of team that the gaffer wants. Yeah. So this is a team. These are the players that we're going to get, and I feel like it's been a great summer for us.
Yeah, 100%, mate, 100%. As club captain, it's fair to say that you have more exposure to the match day officials than any other players. I'm not sure that's always a good thing. What does that look like in your role, and how much can that help influence what's going on with the other players?
Yeah, I feel, obviously, I'm not, probably from the last game of the season, probably not the best thing to talk about, is it? But I have a very good relationship with some of the referees. I played with them for years. I know even when I was up in the league, some of them I still know from there. And I try and work out what they're like when I'm in the tunnel, listen to them talk the way they are. They're a bit arrogant. Try not to get too much, because even though when I'm playing, my mind will switch and I get very like, I don't know, like, who are you talking to? Like, I'm trying to have a conversation with you and telling me like to go away and stuff. I said, I'm the captain. I said, this is the reason why we're meant to be talking. But I feel like it does affect the team, because if you don't get referees on your side, you can just sweeten them up. They're all human beings. They're not robots. I said, because if someone's being nice to me and somebody's being a complete arsehole to me, you just go, well, I'm going to be better to him. I'm not going to give you anything. So I'm trying to learn to switch that, because obviously some days I am a complete arsehole. Yeah. So, but I feel because I'm so in the motion, and obviously I do have not mental problems, but I do have like anger issues. I have, especially when I'm playing sport, I'm so competitive. I've got winning mentality. So everything has to win. Otherwise, even in training, you ask the boys, they're like, he's so aggressive with everything. And if I'm losing in the 6 side, I'm walking in, I'm gone. My head's gone. Like, because
so basically, Brad, are you the reason why we had a massive injury crisis last season? From training.
I wish I was injured myself.
Yes, true. You was.
No, yeah. To be fair, no. It's I can't fault the boys in that. They're brilliant. And I think because they know the way I am, and they know how much I care, and they know I'd do anything for them. Like I said, they speak to me all summer. They've been ringing me and stuff like that with problems and stuff. If I can help them, I can help them. And if I can't, I'll try and send them the right way, because that's it. Being a captain is not just a captain on the pitch. You lead them off the pitch as well, because they look at you and go, I need advice. What do I do here? What should I say to him? I said, well, try this, try that. So that if it works, it works. If it don't, it don't. So
Yeah. Yeah. No, 100%. Fans always like insights into what happens behind the scenes, because, we just don't know about so many of these things. And one of the things I think we always wonder is when a player gets sent off, because you mentioned you got sent off at Braintree, we spoke about that earlier on. What actually physically happens as you walk through that tunnel? Are you allowed to watch the rest of the game on a monitor? Do you get to speak to the referee after? What's that all like?
Nah, the Braintree one, I wasn't allowed anywhere near the ref. So I wasn't allowed to go anywhere near him. I think I would have been banned for life, I think. But that was because I've obviously spoken to the referee and that previously, and obviously said that obviously I do have aggressive traits, so I do apologise for that. So, and obviously, when I'm on a football pitch, I'm a completely different person. So, and also, I do realise he is a human being. He is going to make errors, and I'm like, you can't make errors.
Yes.
But yeah, no. When we go in the tunnel, you just, especially in our league, you just go in the change room, get showered, and just sit there. Obviously, sometimes you try and sleep in the tunnel, but sometimes there's stewards there that they won't let you out, or they stand outside your door so you don't come out, and obviously to protect the referee as well. But yeah, no, you just sit there in misery and wait for you. Just try not to clock the gaffer's eyes, because if you do, he's probably going to chin you.
Yeah. So you're almost just listening out to the crowd, seeing, if there's a goal, we're trying to work out what's going on, right? Is that right?
Yeah, mate, yeah. I did it at Hampton when they scored in the 97th minute. Obviously, I knew it was 5 minutes, because I could hear 5 minutes added on, and when I had it on my phone. And when it went past 5 minutes, I was kicking off in the chain. I said, "Why is it still playing?" And then obviously, when it scored, and I just went mental. Yeah. So, but it's part and part of football, isn't it? I said, this is why we love the game so much.
Yeah, oh mate, 100%. So, in terms of next season, are you out? Do you miss the first game? Was it the first two games?
3.
3? Yeah, you're kidding?
Yeah,
really?
Yeah. So it's a bit of a I'm fuming myself. I'm like, you're such it's the last game of the season, we were winning. I said, you didn't need to do that, but I said, something I can't control myself, but there's something I'm working on now. So you won't be seeing that again next year, because I will be getting huge fines otherwise.
Well, we'll have to make sure that we've got 9 points waiting for you by the time that you get back.
Yeah. If we're going up, I'm getting sent off straight away. We're already cleared.
One of the huge positives we had at the club is the fact that we have a great group of lads throughout the management team and all of the players. And when you go back, you've got the job of blending in the new players that we've signed. As a senior pro and as a club captain, how do you go about doing that to assist for new guys settling in, Brad?
I think straight away, as soon as you walk in, there's no hesitation. You don't beat around the bush with them. You say, look, this is welcome to introducing to all the players. Make sure they're all bonding. We don't. Simon's got a very good way of doing stuff. When he first come in, he said, because we're all new players last year, he said, I don't want to see the same people sitting on the same table, because I want everyone mixed. So every day you sit on a different table, or you move around. Make sure you all get to know each other, because this is how you're going to do it. And I think it's a huge way of doing it, because we're with each other every day. We're going to see each other more than our families. So they're your brothers now. So you get to know your brother. You know exactly what he likes, what he don't like, what pisses him off, because you're going to do that a lot. So, but I feel like that's definitely a trait that I've taken from Simon, to help me. So I feel, right, everybody, we do this. And obviously the gaffer will do it. He's very good at making everyone together and having a laugh and introducing everybody. So I feel like we've got a very, very good squad of that. And I feel like and the main thing in our team, we've got no bad eggs. There's no one, even from last season when things weren't going right, I can say now that nobody wanted this to happen. Like, no one was in there saying, I don't really care. I'm not really asked. I get paid to play football. I'm not really. I'm just turning up. Nobody wanted that last year. I can swear on that as well, because I wouldn't have it as a captain. I would go in straight away and say, you need to get rid of this player before I end up killing him. Because but that's 100%. And I feel like, especially with the new players coming in, you'll get to learn. You get to know them straight, and then they'll know us straight away and the way we do things. And but there's no bad eggs. I think that's a massive thing as well, especially in a changing room.
Yeah. I mean, I was watching the Man United 1999 treble winning season documentary on Amazon Prime. I don't know if you've seen that yet, Brad.
Yeah,
And I was amazed to hear that Andy Cole and Teddy Sheringham didn't even talk to each other for a year whilst playing together. I mean, obviously, you've not had it at Borough, but you might have had it at other clubs. How do you go about squashing things like that to help cultivate a positive team spirit when it does happen, Brad?
I had it at Chesterfield. It was when we got relegated. It was an awful, it was really bad. Like, there were so many different groups, and I got on with everybody. I was very young. I was only 22, 23. So I was quite young, and obviously I was like, still quite new to the league and stuff. And I was thinking, right, well, I'm friends with him, but he doesn't really get on with him. He doesn't really get on with him. I just thought, well, when you're in the team, I thought everyone just gets on with each other. Like, you're gonna have someone you don't read. It pisses you off. He says things that you just think, "Oh, shut up." But you say that about everyone. You say that about your own family members sometimes. You just end up you know how to get away from them, or you know how to just you just get around them. You know what I mean? You just ignore them and stuff like that. But I feel like the best way to do it is, especially me as a captain, if someone comes to me saying that he's saying stuff or he's not with it, I wouldn't go to that player straight away without hesitation and say, I need to talk to you. We're gonna have a little chat later after lunch, or we'll chat now. And I'll squash it. I said, this is the way it's going to be. I said, if you carry on, you won't be here much longer, because we can't have this, because you're not just affecting me now. I said, you're affecting the players.
Yeah.
And I did have that conversation once last year. I had a few conversations, obviously, because people were down because of the way things are. And obviously, I've been through it. I've been through relegation. I said, I know exactly how it feels. I've got back-to-back relegations. I said, I very much nearly quit at the end of it. So I had a very good experience of that, and how to speak to him. I said, it's not over until the final whistle. Like, the last game of the season will decide whether we're here or not. I said, and we're still not there, so don't worry about it. But when obviously that Thursday night went off, we were mental. I said, I rang all that, so you can all start smiling now.
Unbelievable, wasn't it? Yeah.
But that's what I mean. We all got together again straight away. I said, that shows what team the gaffer is building, and the type of players that he wants and personnel he likes. Because it's not just, like I said, it's not on the pitch, it's off the pitch. As soon as something good happens, we all win. The whole team wins.
Yeah. Not
just the ones that are starting, because the ones that aren't, we might need you. And the ones that aren't in the squad, we can replace them. It's a big circle, isn't it? So
well, you can see the character of you and the boys, because we were safe. We could have quite easily turned up at Braintree, and it could have been party time. But the boys rolled up their sleeves, and they've gone up now, haven't they? It shows you how good they are.
Yeah,
and we made them look very average, and didn't we? So it's another reason for in a long list to be excited for next season.
That's the type of thing. Well, the gaffer said to us, he goes, "You ain't turning up here just to have a little kick around." I said, "We're going here to win." I said, but that's his mentality. He's got a winning mentality. Every game we win. And I said, even when we're safe and we've got nothing to play for now, so you leave on a good end, and that sums him up, because of the way you said the photo at the end. I said, that is everything. So that's what the fans needed from day one. So that now you can see what's in place. So now it gets everyone excited, doesn't it? And especially for players, we know we can't be pissing around ever. So because we ain't playing. Even for me, like he said, even though I'm captain, doesn't mean anything. I said, if I'm not if I'm not doing things properly, I won't play. That's it. Yeah. But that's the mentality you need.
Yeah.
So
for sure. In terms of last season, who were some of the best players that you played against last year, Brad?
I hate to say it. Obviously, obviously Ollie Pearce. You've seen he's gone to York now, and obviously that is it Felix? He's gone there as well, isn't he?
Yeah, he's gone as well.
Them two, I would say that Felix is a very, very good player, and obviously Pearce is he's a goal scorer. I mean, you don't score that many goals if you ain't. But and obviously your friend Greg Lure as well. He's a great player. You know what I mean? He's an absolute animal when he wants it, and he's horrible to play against when he's at it. He's absolutely horrible to play against, and I had to try and give him a few digs, but it didn't work. but I'd say them three are definitely the highlight. I'm trying to think. There's so many good players that go under the radar. I
Yeah,
feel like because you play against teams that like even like St Albans and teams like that. They're all very well organised. They're a very good
yeah,
side. They know exactly what they're doing. They train that way each week. And I feel like them sort of teams they go under the radar, but they're they're hard to play against.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
like even like Chelmsford, they're not very pretty to watch, but they're so good at what they do.
Or a unit, yeah,
So
yeah,
and it works because they got that personnel. I said, well, they ain't going to go to a plane out the back, are they? When they've got 6'6" giants at the back who have been
yeah,
taught to head it and kick it. So
yeah,
because that's
yeah,
what they're good at, they get it forward, and their forward players play it, and then them units at the back defend. So that's
yeah,
why I done well. I thought that they were a very good team to play against. You couldn't give them half a yard. But yeah, I'll say that obviously them three players would obviously be the big ones for me. And I like the way Worthing played last year. They're very, very good. You know, what I mean, playing out. They're very comfortable.
yeah.
Horrible to play against. Telling you, it's
They
like
ruined our
dog eat
Christmas,
dog.
didn't
Yeah, they did, mate. They did. They nearly finished my career at Christmas.
they? Brad, when you look at the clubs that have come up and those that have come down last year, what fixtures will you be looking out for, and who are you looking forward to playing most next season?
There's some big teams in this league now. Some very, very big teams. Obviously, with Boreham Wood, isn't it?
Yeah,
They're
yeah,
another they're a full-time club.
yeah,
They're a big club. I've been offered to go there a few times previously, and I've been around the place. I've been there training and stuff there. So they've got everything. They're a full-time club. They
yeah,
should be doing much better than what they are, but things happen in football. So that's the way it is. So there will be a big target for us. And obviously, I know one of my friends has gone there, Johnny Goddard. He's just signed there from Slough. Um, so I know that there'll be ones to watch. Um, who else? Trying to think, like, because I'm not really. I look at the league and I just feel like sometimes, obviously, you got Dorking and stuff as well. So,
Dorking,
but
yeah, and Harrison's there now as
obviously,
well, right?
a few of my friends play there. A few of my
Yeah,
I've played for years, and obviously, you know what they're going to come at. They're going to be a very aggressive playing side. They're going to be very good at what they do. Obviously, Harrison's gone there now. I've already
yeah,
messaged him.
yeah,
Don't worry. Yeah, I said you wait for a corner to come in, mate. You're getting it. But no, it's they Dorking, Boreham, they're big teams. They're teams that are not going to turn up and mess around. They're going to come
yeah,
and going to be in your face, and they're going to prove why they've been up at the league above.
yeah,
So, but at the end of the day, we don't fear no one at our place.
yeah,
This is our, especially at home, we're a fortress at home. So that's from day one, and everyone should be looking at us now because we're now building. We're getting to that stage where everything's now like the cogs are ticking over. You know what I mean? They're all starting
yeah,
to move. So
yeah. Good stuff. The fans have been described as the 12th man a number of times over the course of last year, but towards the end of the season, there was a real feeling more than ever that the unity between the players and the fans was as good as it can be. As a player, how aware of the fans are you, Brad, and what can we do better next season?
I feel like they stuck with us for the tough times. Like it's easy to Sky and going this week, especially to travel away. Like they're the easy ones. I'm not going to that. I'm not going to that. Whereas I felt like even the one that went down to Western Supermare and places like that, it's miles away. And I said they're still
Yeah,
turning up. I said that shows how much love they have for a club. And I said that to the boys. I said you need to realise that this is what they love. They do this in their spare time. Some of them take days off work to come here. Said that's huge because they're missing out on money. And I said they're just to watch you boys. I said that shows what they're like, what type of personnel we have as like behind us, and we hear everything. I hear everything. I'm always
yeah,
listening. I have to listen. I'm listening for obviously the players and stuff and how they're feeling. And I do have a laugh with the fans. You see me all the time having a laugh with them because they get me going. They get me like they hype me up, and that's what as a player you always need it because it gives you that second wind. And
yeah,
having your fans behind you is massive. Even if there's 1,000 there or 20,000 there, it's still exactly the same thing.
yeah,
It doesn't matter. It makes no difference. I'm telling you, because I've played with 20,000. I've played them
yeah,
with 100 or 500. I said you hear more when there's less. A
yeah,
lot
yeah,
more.
yeah, yeah,
You can
right.
actually
Yeah,
you can echo through the stadium. So But they've been brilliant. They've been proper fans, especially like I said towards the end of the year. They were huge. But it shows what they did, because like I said, we went unbeaten for so long. So but they were every step of the way.
Yeah, and the fans are definitely on board. I mean, we've at this point right now last season, I don't think we'd even started selling supporters club memberships yet, and we've already within a week sold more memberships than we have in the whole of last season already. So, and that's all for the away travel, right, for the supporters coach. So,
yeah,
hopefully we'll be taking
shows
2 coaches next year. Yeah, amazing. Brad, maybe not everyone will know this, but you're related to Gareth Barry. How proud are you of him, and what impact has he had on your career, Brad?
Yeah, I feel like it's obviously for me. It's just a normal uncle. Like, it's just Gaz. Like, I'll give him a text to do it. Like, right, mate, what are you doing? But for other people, obviously, it's a superstar. And when I was a young boy, I went to all the Villa games. That was my first ever kit, a Villa kit. I don't support Villa, and I never will. But obviously, Villa are they're close in our hearts for the family, because he's there for such a long time, and it was amazing. They loved us. They were very, very good to us. But he made me fall in love with football. He made me want to be a footballer, because I saw not what he had, but where he used to train, where he used to, all the games and playing in front of all the fans and in the big stadiums. As a kid, that's all you ever wanted. Because materialistic-wise, you don't know anything at 8 years old. You don't know what car. I said, yeah, it looks a nice car. Nobody knows what car that is. But nowadays I'm like, I want that car. Like, I want that nice 7-bedroom house. It'd be lovely. But he's been a big influence. We never really talk about football much. Like, we're not really, because we play it every day. We don't really talk about it off it. He only gave me one bit of advice when how old was I? About 14, 15. And he said, just be professional on and off the pitch, and it'll get you through your career. And that stuck me forever. Like, I remember him texting me that. Because I was at Brighton. I'd just moved out of my house. I was 15. Yeah, I was 15, 16. And I was like, Rob, I'm a bit struggling here. Like, I'm moving away from home at a very young age. But he just said, just be professional on and off the pitch, and it'll get you through. And it's just stuck with me.
Yeah, good advice, Brad. We've seen how we finished the season last year. We've seen the players that we've added to the squad. We've spoken about that. So what are your expectations, both personally and for the club next season, Brad?
I think we only have one target in our eyes. You know what I mean? It's to be promoted. How we do it, that's another story. But I think now we can't look at anything else. I think when you play, even if we didn't make so many signings, I think still in our eyes, promotion is the key. Because otherwise, what's the point in playing? You don't look at the league and go, right, we're going to just stay in the league this year. So that doesn't work like that. So you don't play football just to get a draw. You play to win. Right. And if you're going to lose, you lose in the right way. But I think this year, definitely just going to be a promotion for us. That will be our main target.
Yeah, well, that sounds good to me, Brad. We're going to take a very quick break before coming back to ask you the signature from the club questions. Brad, as you know, as a business, we're all about official signed memorabilia, for which you have very kindly signed loads of stuff for us over the course of the season, which we're very grateful for, and is available on our website. So these last few questions are all memorabilia related. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Brad, have you ever asked anyone for their autograph in person before? And if so, who?
Yeah, I have. I've got Ronaldo's one, and I've got Peter Crouch. They were like that. But obviously, Ronaldo's was my favourite because he's my idol. He still is now at 30 years old. So
where did you see it, Brad? Where was it?
When Gareth played against Man United at Villa Park. Yeah. So that was a massive one. I had his signature. I gave it to my little brother now. So he better still have it, otherwise I'll be fuming.
Yeah. What memorabilia do you own, and if so, what is your favourite piece? Maybe it's a Ronaldo one, but what is your favourite piece?
Memorabilia. I've got a few. I've got quite a lot of shirts. I think my favourite one was it was actually my Lukaku one. I played against him in pre-season against with Swindon, but I actually gave that shirt away. But it's still my favourite memorabilia because it was personal to me, and it was obviously one of the big players. But I gave it to someone that were doing a big charity, and it raised a lot of money. So I said it had a better cause than just sitting in a suitcase. So. But other than that, obviously I've got my own shirts, my title winning shirts. I've got that and my medals and stuff as well. So I've got quite a lot. But I'd say the Lukaku one's obviously definitely because it had a better cause as well.
Knowing the way that you play, Brad, did you wait for the game to finish before you took his shirt, or was it during the game that you took his shirt off him?
Yeah, I was trying to take it off him during the game. It wouldn't come off. He threw me into the stands.
I bet you had him in your pocket though, right?
Yeah, oh yeah. I'll say that. Yeah, I did. Yeah. Don't watch the clips of it.
Yeah. Brad, if you could have anyone's autograph, dead or alive, who would you have and why?
Oh, that's a very, very good question. I think who is it? Who would I have? I think it's still Ronaldo's. I think he's top tier for me. I think if it weren't for him, I really, really, I don't know why, I loved Cafu for Brazil, the right back. Yeah, like I don't know why I was an attacking player when I was younger, but I loved Cafu. I thought he was unbelievable. So if I could ever get his signature, it would be unbelievable.
Well, mate, I think we've got it somewhere. So if I can find it, I'll give it to you.
Oh, mate, that would be unbelievable, yeah, mate.
I've got the card somewhere.
I was thinking a bit like that.
Yeah. Brad, tell us about your new podcast. I know that you've got plans to bring one out. First of all, what's that going to be about, and how can people subscribe to it in readiness for it to come out?
Yeah, so obviously I'm starting it up like pretty much similar to you. I'm going to be doing interviews with players, previous players I've played with, a few friends that have now retired from football. It'll be a football-based podcast because obviously that's what I know. I said I'm not going to talk about mechanics because I have no idea, or building stuff because my building skills are no good. So yeah, it'll be like that, and it'll obviously be up hopefully in the next few months. Obviously, it's in the works at the minute. I've just got to speak to a few people, get things basically the ball rolling. But I still have I've got a Twitch account as well, which obviously you see on my Instagram and stuff, which I do post up quite a bit. So I'm doing a bit of both, bit of gaming, bit of football podcasting. So hopefully it'll be booming soon.
Excellent. Well, we'll get the link through because I know your YouTube channel is already up in readiness. So I'll make sure we've got the link to that in for your Twitch in the description below and for all your social media accounts as well. I was watching you play Call of Duty the other night with Fletch and with Alex Finney. And mate, I tell you what, I've never felt so old seeing you pick up those guns and run around. I'm like, what buttons are you even pressing on your controller?
No, I don't even know. I'm just pressing those buttons, trying to keep up with all the young ones.
Well, you look like you were good at it, mate.
Yeah, I appreciate that. That's a good start. That's the main thing. I'm being noticed. An unsung talent.
Yeah. Well, Brad, thank you so much for taking the time to be with us, mate. Before we let you go, let us know your closing thoughts and also let people know they can follow you on social media. Yeah,
no, I will do. Obviously, you can follow me on Instagram. I've got Facebook as well. My Twitch account is obviously it'll be in my bio on Instagram. And obviously my YouTube channel, it'll be up soon. The link's there, but obviously there's no videos yet. So just give me a follow, and once you can subscribe, you can subscribe. But the main thing is make sure you follow this video first. Make sure you follow From the Club. That's the main one.
Top man, Brad. And have you got any closing thoughts before we let you go?
No, I just want to say thank you for everything that Eastbourne fans done for us last year, and make sure you get excited for this year because it's going to be a good season for us all.
Oh, we are, mate. We are. Brad, thanks again for your time, mate. Really appreciate it.
No problem. See you later, mate.